Appendix A, Official Body Count. Cat, First Iteration, Trampling, page 2. Countless creatures murdered by Acorn, unspecified, past, page 4. Goats, Ritual Sacrifice, planned, page 7. 33 citizens of Pawnee, Bread Factory Fire, past, page 10. Daedalus, Starvation, metaphorical, page 12. Cat, Second Iteration, Trampling, page 16. Nikola Tesla, Electrocution by Voltage Leech, past, page 16. Tauntaun, Sliced Open by Anna, past, page 17. Bicycling Man, Dangerous Bike Stunt, page 18. Unspecified Number of Ponies, Russian Roulette, past, page 20. Two Ponies in the Barn, Shotgun, page 20. Stupid Goddamn Ponies, Running into Burning Barns, hypothetical, page 26. Anna, Heart Attack, temporary, page 27. Alexander Pusheen, Trampling, hypothetical, page 27. Cat, Third Iteration, Head Bitten Off, page 28. Squirrel, Flesh Rent by Sprouting Seed, metaphorical, page 29. Brandy's Murders, unspecified, past, page 34. Corn of Wheat, metaphorical, page 35. Sweatshirt Wearing Corpse, unspecified, page 40. Pheasant, Eaten Alive by Pam, page 41. Shepherd, Drowning, page 45. Snoop Dogg, Decapitation, past, page 47. Political Prisoner, Firing Squad, metaphorical, page 51. Lil Seb and Lightning, Freezing or Cannibalism, probable, page 54. Panther, unspecified, page 71. Brandy and/or Dr. Crandall, Gunshot and/or Chandelier, unverified, page 71. Lulu's Mother, unspecified, page 72. Minotaur, The Pharmacos, Execution, past, page 83. Christ, Hemlock, page 84. Socrates, Crucifixion, page 84. Minos, Aesodos, page 87. Acorn, Hamartia, page unknown. Dirk Strider, Mimesis, page unknown. Jean Betancourt, Agon, page unknown. Pam Crandall, Peripetea, page unknown. Anna Harley, Anagnorisis, page unknown. Pawnee, Indiana, Catharsis, page unknown. The author is dead. Long live the author. Pam, Pawnee, and Anna walked. They walked across an endless, flat gray plain. Before them, all was completely featureless. Behind them, a trail of black words that had sprung up from the ground immediately after they walked over it, like footprints. If they looked down at this moment, their most recent footprints would have spelled out, if they looked down at this moment, their most recent. You get the idea. Pam was leading the way, walking mechanically, as if her feet were propelling the rest of her body, which was only along for the ride. Anna followed immediately after her, looking straight ahead, her expression grim. Pawnee trailed behind. She was the only one of the girls who seemed at all tired, the only one of the girls who looked unsure of herself, the only one of the girls who even tried to read the winding ribbon of text etched on the landscape that indicated where they had come from and, just maybe, indicated where they might go. Without warning, Pam stopped. "We're here," she said. "And where is here?" Pawnee asked, catching her breath. "The penultimate page of the book," Anna answered. "The book that Acorn took from Dirk and carried to the highest level of Mount Purgatory, to terrestrial paradise, in other words, the Garden of Eden." "So, we're inside another copy of the book we've always been inside, while simultaneously being in the place that this secondary book is located?" Pam said incredulously. "Just try not to think about it too much," Anna said. "Besides, by this point, pretty much all boundaries have crumbled, including the boundaries of the concept of boundary itself. Everything's more or less a stew of ideas or concepts at this point, a primeval soup." "Don't you mean primordial?" Pam asked. "No." Pawnee took a few steps forward and looked around. "How do I do this?" she asked Anna. "Pam will point the way," Anna explained, and then you'll make the journey to the final page. When you arrive there, you'll see 2 apples. The one higher up will be small and bitter. That one is the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. We, as we are now, were forced to eat thereof, and so we shall surely die. The apple growing below it is far larger and far sweeter. This is the fruit of the tree of life. If we had eaten thereof instead, we would have lived forever and been eternally innocent and eternally ignorant. We should have been able to make the initial choice ourselves, but the serpent forced our hands. He didn't tempt us. We were compelled by his claim of authority, and once we ate and became as one of him, to know good and evil, he blocked the way so we could not return. He hid the garden behind a gray wall, covered in words, each one of them a sword of orange flame. But if Acorn and his group were successful, that wall has been torn down, and the garden is unprotected. Both apples have been restored to their unbitten state. Pawnee, you, and only you, may re-enter the garden, and then you may make the choice that we were denied. The choice between these 2 fruits, and the trees that are simultaneously in the center of the garden and outside it entirely. Just as you are simultaneously part of both of the potential realities contained in this book and of neither. If you eat from the small one, the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, then all of this will happen again, exactly as it did to us. But eat from the large one, the fruit of life, and the book will be reset, scraped, resanded. But in the process, we will very likely sacrifice ourselves. It's not an easy choice, Pawnee. Either way, people will be hurt. But we've all agreed that innocence is the better option, so make the right choice, Pawnee. No, Pam said, taking a step towards Pawnee. She put a hand on her friend's shoulder. Just make your choice. Pawnee smiled and nodded. Pam pointed in the direction of the next page. Pawnee nodded again, looked as if she was about to say something, but then turned away and headed off. Pam and Anna stood there silently, watching her leave. Eventually, Anna reached out her hand to Pam, who hesitated for a moment, then took it. She looked into Anna's eyes. There was no need for words. They both knew. Suddenly, Anna whipped her head around, looking in the direction they'd come from. "Did you hear?" she said to Pam, who shrugged. "No," Anna said with a sigh. "It couldn't be. Just wishful thinking." She looked back to Pam and chuckled. "I thought that I heard hoofbeats." "It's not impossible," Pam said. "Like you said, everything's blending together now. Wouldn't a last-minute reunion of a girl and her pony be a perfect note to end on?" "It would," Anna said quietly. "It would." "Wait," said Pam, cupping a hand to her ear. "I think I hear it too. Hoofbeats. Heading this way. I think that it could be—" Anna released Pam's hand and began to sprint back down the trail of words. There were tears in her eyes. "Are you out there?" she shouted. "Did you find me again? Is it you, Acorn?" And that's when Pawnee made her choice. Chapter 1. A Visitor. Anna Harley came out her back door and ran across the backyard. There were 2 ponies in the paddock behind Anna's house and yard. "Hey, ponies," Anna called out. "We're going for a trail ride." Anna's pony, Acorn, was standing in the pony shed. The other pony, Snow White, belonged to Anna's next-door neighbor and pony pal, Lulu Sanders. Snow White came over to Anna, but Acorn stayed in the shed. Anna thought that Acorn was trying to hide from her. He liked to play catch me if you can. After closing the pharmacy, Plato went to retire, to get out of the sun. He took a few steps in the darkness toward the back of his reserves, found himself leaning over the pharmacon, decided to analyze. Within the thick, cloudy liquid, trembling deep inside the drug, the whole pharmacy stood reflected, repeating the abyss of the Platonic phantasm. The analyst cocks his ears, tries to distinguish between two repetitions. He would like to isolate the good from the bad, the true from the false. He leans over further. They repeat each other. Holding the pharmacon in one hand, the calamus in the other, Plato mutters as he transcribes the play of formulas. In the enclosed space of the pharmacy, the reverberations of the monologue are immeasurably amplified. The walled-in voice strikes against the rafters. The words come apart. Bits and pieces of sentences are separated. Disarticulated parts begin to circulate through the corridors, become fixed for a round or two, translate each other, become rejoined, bounce off each other, contradict each other, make trouble, tell on each other, come back like answers, organize their exchanges, protect each other, institute an internal commerce, take themselves for a dialogue, full of meaning, a whole story. Jacques Derrida, Plato's Pharmacy. In the large envelope I carried, I could feel the hard-cornered, rubber-banded batches of index cards. We are absurdly accustomed to the miracle of a few written signs being able to contain immortal imagery, involutions of thought, new worlds with live people, speaking, weeping, laughing. We take it for granted so simply that in a sense, by the very act of brutish routine acceptance, we undo the work of the ages, the history of the gradual elaboration of poetical description and construction. From the tree man to Browning, from the caveman to Keats. What if we awake one day, all of us, and find ourselves utterly unable to read? I wish you to gasp not only at what you read, but at the miracle of its being readable, so I used to tell my students. Although I am capable, through long dabbling in blue magic, of imitating any prose in the world, but singularly enough not verse, I am a miserable rhymester. I do not consider myself a true artist, save in one matter. I can do what only a true artist can do, pounce upon the forgotten butterfly of revelation, wean myself abruptly from the habit of things, see the web of the world, and the weft of that web. Solemnly I weighed in my hand what I was carrying under my left armpit, and for a moment I found myself enriched with an indescribable amazement, as if informed that fireflies were making decodable signals on behalf of stranded spirits, or that a bat was writing a legible tale of torture in the bruised and branded sky. I was holding all Zembla pressed to my heart. Vladimir Nabokov, Pale Fire. Happy birthday, Jane.